these graduates and matching them with internships and that sort of opportunity?
Thank you, Thamsanqa, for having us. We appreciate this opportunity. The challenge is not pretty much finding graduates, but the biggest challenge is to find the host employers. Because we've got graduates readily available, but host employers who have the appropriate temperament, the appropriate skills transfer approaches and models are very difficult to find. And that is what we're working to get so that we can then match the host to the graduates that are available.
And how many graduates are you currently dealing with?
In our database, it's sitting around just over 15,000 of these graduates from universities and colleges. So you have about 11,000 from colleges and 4 from universities.
Do you have specific focus areas in terms of the intake of graduates, or are you across vocations?
It is across different disciplines. You look at engineering, you're looking at finance, accounting, you're looking at marketing, sales. So it is across different disciplines indeed.
What then makes it so difficult for you to be able to link each graduate with a company or an employer who would have some sort of opportunity there?
It's the funding, number one. There's a need for funding to be available. And thanks to companies like your food sector, the sector, the fiber processing and manufacturing sector, construction sector, services sector, who have come about to assist us to fund stipends for these young people. So that companies, when they come aboard, they focus on skills transfer.
We see, especially on social media, a lot of images of graduates who are waiting at traffic lights with signs saying, "This is my name is Thamsanqa, I studied whatever at such and such a university, this is my number, please assist." Are you able to help those sort of people, or do graduates then have to come to you and say, "This is my story, can you link me to an opportunity"?
The South African Council for Graduates actually, as we presented in the Presidential Job Summit in October to President Ramaphosa, we said we cannot be so evasive about graduate employment because graduates should be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So we salute those young people who go onto street lights, carrying placards to say, "See me, I'm a graduate, I need employment." We want them to come to us, but we've got to be able to deal with this right from a national point of view. We urge all universities and all the colleges to submit their databases of graduates and students that are finishing so that we can then have a planned process, a planned approach to say these are the number of graduates so that employers then will know how many young people they will be able to absorb and then they can plan. If it's not planned, we're not going to be able to work. So we want universities to work with us so that we can have a pipeline and a value chain that will be able to meet the demand.
You also have quite a focus on graduates in TVET colleges, which is very important given that the message from government at the moment is that we must build more artisan skills and that sort of thing. But in terms of the placement or that link with companies, are you finding that there's a different treatment between university graduates and those from TVETs, or are the struggles much the same?
The struggles are pretty much the same, but you will have to work much harder for TVET colleges simply because you're looking at young people, some of them who are just on an equivalent of grade 12 or matric. So companies like, public companies like Transnet, Department of Public Works, but also you get private companies like Lafarge, PAPCO, who are saying, "Saga, we want to take more of your graduates also from TVET colleges because we want to build a pipeline." An average artisan in South Africa is around 56. So you've got to have people that are readily available who then be brought into the company and the ropes, how the technical aspects of the company works and functions.
Once taken into the various companies, do you stay with the particular graduates to just monitor their progress and see how they go, or are you basically just focused on getting them a foot in the door and then leaving them to fly?
Definitely we don't leave it at that because it's important for us to see how the graduates, for example, I came here with Thamsanqa Maqubela, who was a graduate and intern 3 years ago. Today she's a general manager and Council for Graduates. So we stay with them because we want them to also continue to work with us to help us to find more often so that we can assist more graduates. So we don't need them.
You participated in President Ramaphosa's Job Summit a few months ago. Do you find that events or occasions such as the Job Summit are effective on the ground, or are they still more of a talk shop?
I think the important is that companies begin to make their commitments, and we follow through on those commitments. We will make it a point that companies those make commitments, we follow up, and then we ask them to show us their budgets, how much they have available, and then what number of interns are they able to take. So indeed they do work, not only from the point of view of following up, but also from attracting purposes, so we can grow the pool of foster employers that we want to work with. We want as many companies as possible to come and work with us, so that we can be able to share that we have from the seekers and make sure that we take as many graduates, so not only graduates for employment, but graduates for entrepreneurship, that they can form their own co-ops and be able to run viable institutions.
Just on companies, lastly, those who are listening to this conversation between you and I and would like to link up with you, how do they do that?
Well, they can visit our website, www.cooperativecouncil.co.za, or they can send us an email. If it's graduates, they can send an email at admin@cooperativecouncil.co.za, and for companies, that's an email at development@cooperativecouncil.co.za. We are readily available. We know it's the festive season, it's a season for fun, but let us remember January is just around the corner, and we want as many as possible young people who have just graduated this year to come and join the workplace and stop staying at home.
A sobering message there. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you very much for this opportunity. We wanted to show that video so you can have a better understanding of what we do and the challenge that we are all facing. Youth unemployment is not just a problem for the South African Council for Graduates, but it's all our problem. Do we all agree? Thank you. I'd like to see by show of hand how many employers are here today. Bev, please help me. Thank you very much. I think there's about 200 or 300 employers in here today. So the good news I have for you is that I'll give you each 3 graduates. You host them for 12 months. If you like, you can do 24, but I'll pay for 12 months for their stipend. How's that for you? The reason we do this is because it's very important to ensure that our young people are kept busy, they're not idling, and they begin to know that being productive is a choice. But to have a choice in a society where young people are not given an opportunity is a problem. And I would like to thank the Cape Media Corporation. Robert, thank you very much. And I think there's the Hagai Institute for sponsoring this event to ensure that the dialogue continues. But also let's have a dialogue that is conclusive, where we're able to say in 2019, over 300 employers came together. And as a result, 600 graduates were employed or were given an opportunity to learn about the world of work. You and I know, when I started working 25 years ago, if it had not been for an angel who took me over under his wing, I wouldn't be here today. So the same is true with you. Someone gave you an opportunity. Someone gave you a chance. Let's extend that to our young people. So let me not waste your time. Okay, technology, are you with me? There you go. No, not you. We're done with you. Madiba echoed these words. Your playing small does not serve the world. Truly, you're playing small. Take that risk. Get those graduates. If we pay for 3, dare us and say you'll pay for the 3 yourself. Or if we pay for 3 for their stipend, you'll become a good corporate citizen and do like what Lafarge is doing, what Patco is doing, what Transnet is doing, and top up the stipend. That's our challenge. That is your challenge. It is a very good challenge because I'm not coming to you empty-handed. So I'm saying if we play small, South Africa would not get rid of the crime rate that is so high. If we play small, we're going to continue complaining and whining about things that we have the power to change. So who are you not to be great? Just as I was 25 years ago, these young people also have a seed of greatness. Just as you were 40, 50 odd years ago, that seed of greatness needs to be cultivated and harnessed. And we are doing that at the South African Council for Graduates. I would like to move to the next slide. Please work with me. No, thank you. I won't spend much time on this. We exist to ensure that we grow a high caliber of graduates. Not only graduates for employment, but for them to run their own successful businesses or cooperatives, and that they then contribute towards the innovations and industrialization of South Africa. That is very key to us. We serve in the Presidential Youth Working Group. We've been doing that since 2015. And we want to continue influencing government and talking truth to power. We're not only talking it to government, we're talking it to the boardrooms in the private sector. We can't afford to have our young people ignored or not given adequate opportunities to grow. Most of us are going on to pension. Who's going to replace us? Let's prepare the pipeline. I'm ready for pension. So who's going to replace me when I leave? So it's important that this, please work with me. Don't go backwards. The bottom one. Okay. Thank you. Wow, you're a very good teacher. Thank you, Tabang. You are so good. Our staff members, you can see, they're all in their early and mid-20s. Of course, Tabang. Of course, except the three of us, but majority of them are in their early 20s. We keep them for a year, sometimes 2 years, and if they're really, really good, we keep them. Here's an example of the young lady I spoke about, Thembekile. 3 years ago, she was an intern who's lost both parents, but her work rate, you know, when given an opportunity, when mentored appropriately, today she's a GM. Yes. But this doesn't just happen. We have a model that we follow. We subscribe to these principles of internship learning, discovery, and performance. 15% of the internship, if you work with us, of course, we'll make sure that we afford the resources and time. 15% of the internship towards on-the-job learning, 35% to networking, discovery, and insights. It's very important to expose young people. I'm not alone even here today. Stembisile Mbata, where are you? She's sitting somewhere here. And make sure they get involved, they get exposed. So they're able to network, they're able to do research. And then 50% of the internship ought to be around performance of certain structured tasks. And we do weekly and monthly support and appraisals. They begin to understand that if you miss doing what you ought to be doing, in a week, we are going to come and check you up. Please give the gentleman some water. Thank you, sir. So we don't allow them to go in for 3 months not knowing whether they are making it or not. So we've got a very short cycle of appraisal. In that way, they become best at what they're doing. But also we're able to put interventions quite early enough. So I would request all our employers, all people who work with young people, let's adopt this model, put it to action, and see if it works or not. Deputy Minister Manamela spoke about this earlier on. The 300,000 number of unemployed graduates. So I've just asked you to do only 300. What percentage is that? So it's a drop in an ocean. Madiba said, you're playing small. Will not serve South Africa. The Cape media is saying we can't be playing small anymore. Let's do things that will benefit this nation. South Africa is not just a small nation. We're a great nation. And let's do that by getting rid of corruption, getting rid of crime. Money that should be coming to get young people start their own businesses going elsewhere, unaccounted for. We've got to put a stop to that. And that requires all of us. But whining about it is not going to put a stop to it. But there's more to the 300,000. There's over 200,000 students from your TVET colleges and universities of technologies who do not have workplace training to graduate. And we call that work-integrated learning. So not only graduates, but let's get the students who are doing their final years, who need their P1, their P2s to graduate. We can't, of course, afford to have these kids staying for 3 to 5 years. Now they're sitting with an albatross on their heads. They can't graduate. They can't continue with their studies. That's serious frustration for young people. Please. A lot of petty criminals that we have in our country as a result of frustration that young people have. And very few of them know about us anyway. But it doesn't help us to publicize what we do when we do not have host employers. So we do need as many host employers as possible so that the database that we have, we can't even half it. We do 3,000 to 5,000 a year when the challenge is so big. So these statistics you can see for yourself are 2 years old. They're even worse today. Enough about the problem. What is the solution? These are skills development partners. Surely there's a space here for your organization. We can minimize, we can reduce these logos, can make sure you can see food bev, can see service SETA, ETD, FPNM, construction SETA, the chemical SETA. But I want your company. We want to put it in there. So as much as you raise your hand when I said how many, I'd like you to join these organizations that we can grow the numbers. What will it take for us to do 10,000, 30,000 in a year? Make sure that all the different components, the YES program, and other programs that are run by other organizations succeed, but we all come together once a year and share the numbers, the best practices. That is why we have this here for you. Madam, I hear you. So if we take these numbers and we grow them, there's more money. We've just placed 40 in Lichtenberg through Lafarge. We put 40% of the funding and they put 60% of the funding. I'll be talking about entrepreneurial opportunities as well. This gives you then a snapshot of what it is that we're doing. These are the young people that we have placed. That's in Vuselela, Matlosana area in Northwest Province. So we're not just running a shop, little corner in Gauteng. We go across the length and breadth of South Africa. Below that, on the right, it's the Eastern Cape, Ndlambe municipality. Young people do not need to know us. They do not need to be connected to South African Council for Graduates. All they need to do, refer them to us. But don't refer just graduates that are unemployed, refer companies as well. Because we've got to be solution-oriented. a candidacy program which we ran with the Department of Public Works, funded by Cheetah and FoodBev. Took learners from all the 9 provinces in internal auditing. We paid for 12 months, Department of Public Works came on the 2nd year. That's a public-private partnership. We can do many of these. Today, these learners are sitting with 24 months of work experience. They are just left with a month to finish. Out of the 30 that we placed, already 7 have been absorbed by the department. So yes, we are allowed to absorb before they finish. Avenge, even though it's struggling, there it's taken some of our learners. In spite of it being struggling, they were still able to top up their stipend. Learners in the Free State, at Metsimahulu Municipality, at Prasa in Durban, very good story there. All 12 of them were absorbed at the end of their program, and they're all coming from TVET colleges. KwaZulu-Natal again, in the Mpangeni area, Richards Bay. Bottom left, that's Vembe in Venda in Tauyando. So we can represent your organization. We can give you the graduates that you want to interview. If you have, you can refer them back to us. You can make your own selection. Talk to us so we know how many you need. Our stipend ranges from 2.5 to 5,000 depending on the qualification. We are open for business. We want to help you create a sustainable pipeline. When you have interns in your organization, you have a good chance to get these young people to understand your corporate culture, your business values. And when it's time for you to replace some of your artisans, some of your esteemed employees who are about to go on pension just like me, it makes it easy. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our business case, and we want to ensure that you understand what we do and how we do it. Tomorrow I'll be back here talking about how we're cultivating an innovative spirit, how we're grooming an entrepreneurial culture through co-ops on campuses, and what we call the enterprise and supplier development. Thank you very much for giving me your ear.